When I first decided to buy a wig because my hair loss was just getting to that point, I was uncomfortable. I shaved my head and I just wanted a backup. I was so overwhelmed. It was the most intimidating purchase I had ever made. The city I live in has one place to buy wigs, and I found that it was overpriced. I found that they didn't have the styles I wanted. I didn't have a good experience, so I went online. I'm going to try to help you, if you are a beginner, if this is your first wig, kind of navigate the world of wigs. First of all, let's talk about fashion and costume wigs. Wigs are becoming more popular. Some people are buying wigs off of Amazon for $50, in purple, in turquoise, in platinum blonde, for a fun thing to do. Those are not the wigs that I am talking about today. Those are great if you're going to a party, if you're just doing something fun with friends. Those are not everyday wigs. I would highly recommend you save your money, go to a retail website that specializes in wigs, and go for something that's going to give you a lot more confidence while you're wearing it. So, let's talk about wig cap construction. First of all, monofilament wigs are what you'll be looking for in an everyday wearing wig. It's what makes your part look like your hair is actually growing out of your head. Costume wigs will have the wefts that hold the hair all the way through, and you will see no skin through. But, sorry, I have my baby on my lap, so he's kind of being a little wiggler. But what you want is for at least the part, if not the whole cap, to be monofilament, which means it's hand tied and knotted, so that as you move the part around, you can actually see your skin through it. I have an example of that here. That is a Jon Renau monofilament cap construction. I just realized I used the word weft. That's a weft. It's the layers of hair. What I prefer is a double monofilament, because then the monofilament, the knots are right against your hair. If, like me, underneath your wig, you have no hair and you don't wear a wig cap, that can irritate your scalp and it leaves you just wanting to pull your wig right off at the end of the day. You can go a lot longer wearing it comfortably with 2 layers. The second layer is similar to my skin tone. It's sheer. It's made out of the same lace, but it just protects my head from the friction of just rubbing all day. Next, there is lace front. That is when there is an extra band of lace right up at the front, right there, so that if you pull your hair back a little bit, Teddy, let go, let go. He was grabbing on. If you pull your hair back a little bit, it's not as harsh of a line. It's still not the same as when you used to have hair. It's not going to look as good, ponytails and braids, I'm sorry, unless you're really good at styling it. It's still going to be a little bit of a harsh line, but it is a lot more passable. If you don't want to get a lace front, you don't need it if you have a thick fringe that goes either to the side to cover that whole line or just straight across. Then you obviously won't see your hairline anyways, and so it's fine if you want a fringe to pass over with the lace front. There's also 100% hand-tied wigs. I won't be talking about those. I know nothing about them. They're very expensive, but basically it's when the whole thing is knotted and there are no wefts at all, so you can put your hair up much more easily. But again, I won't be talking about that. So the lifespan you can expect for a wig, websites say for a synthetic wig like this one, 4 to 6 months. I am a mom. I have other things to spend my money on. I have my mortgage, I have my car payments, I have 2 kids. I'm not going to replace my wigs every 4 to 6 months. I take them in for haircuts, and I usually do it every 10 months to a year. It's, by the end of it, it doesn't look as good. So if you can replace them more frequently, good for you, but you can stretch it out if you take good care of them. Heat resistant, they say 3 months. I've never had a heat resistant wig. What I've heard the difference, that means that you can blow dry it or straighten, curl, anything like that. I don't have one of those, so I can't vouch for it, but they do last a shorter amount of time. They are less shiny from what I hear, and you have to take better care of them. Then there's human hair, and they say they last a year plus. I've also never had a human hair wig. This is strictly just about synthetic. So keep that in mind. If you are looking to change your hair less and you have the money for a human hair wig, it's definitely worth looking into. Synthetics are just fine if you are on a budget and are just looking for something really easy that you don't have to take the best care of. So, density, that's something that I never thought about when I first bought a wig. I am a smaller frame. I'm not the tiniest person. I am thin-ish, and if I get a Zara from Jon Renau, which is I'm actually wearing right now, straight out of the box, it looks huge on me. It looks like a wig because it doesn't look like that amount of hair should be on my frame. Now I know there are some tiny girls with lots of hair, and if that's what you're used to, then don't worry about density. But what you're looking for is a less of a dense wig. If what you want is to look like it's your own hair, and you usually have finer hair, look for hair like this one, for example, which has a lot less hair on it, and it's going to be a lot more passable if that is the look you're going for. So, price-wise, you're looking to spend, and I'm Canadian, so these are Canadian dollars, between $200 and $600 on a synthetic wig that has those features. You might find a deal, you might be able to find something for a better price, but I'd say my average wigs cost about $350. That's the way it is, and they don't last forever, but that's why it's worth shopping around, looking at the same styles at different websites, all of that. So it's an investment, but think about it this way. You're not going to be going to the salon, you're not going to be getting highlights or a haircut, and you don't need expensive shampoos, you don't need styling products. You just kind of have this. I clean mine with fabric softener. Fragrance-free fabric softener, because if you put a fragrant one on, it will give you a really bad headache. Okay, last thing, hairline. Play with your hairline. Put it down low, put it up high. I see a lot of girls that have no forehead. I've been accused by actually a wig company of wearing my wig too low. I like this amount of forehead, so I don't let it bother me too much. I've seen girls wear it all the way back to here. Play around, see what you're comfortable with, take some pictures after you have it, and just whatever makes you feel best, do that. The last thing I just thought of now, actually, is if it is your first wig, I wouldn't necessarily recommend, if you are just trying to pass as someone who has a regular head of hair, as going too far out of your comfort zone. In a few years, in a few months, try a drastic different color, try a different texture, try something else. But if you have always had dirty blonde hair, straight, don't go for a red curly hair, because it's not going to make you feel like yourself, And the whole point of a wig is just to make you feel more confident, you feel more comfortable going out into public, and for me, just blending in. So after a while, try some different styles, but stick to what makes you feel your best and what you know you'll like at the beginning. Okay, I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, put a comment down. I might not have the answer. I'm not an expert. I am, I've just been wearing wigs for 5 years, and I've picked up some stuff while I've been going, but maybe other people watching this video will be able to help you out. Okay,